Autocannons were discovered to be the superior weapon of mounted infantry fighting vehicles in the 70s and 80s. The BMP-1 slow-firing gun and missile system proved to be effective, but not effective enough, so the Soviets began designing and eventually mass-producing the BMP-2, which had a 30mm autocannon and a Conqueror's anti-tank guided missile system. Years after the fall of the Soviet Union, with thousands of BMP-2s lying around, Russia realized the Conquerors could easily be countered by state-of-the-art ERA and composite armor, so they began a modernization effort for the BMP-2, which would have 4 modern tandem missile systems. I present to you the BMP-2M. Starting off, the BMP-2M sits at a battle rating of 9.3, and is a squadron vehicle at rank 6. Your main armament is a 30mm 2A42 automatic cannon, meaning you can shoot 30mm shells very fast. Your depression with this gun is only -4 degrees, so it can be ineffective in hilly battles. You have 250 rounds for your autocannon in total, and 8 ATGMs in total. Your base reload is 1.3 seconds, and your max reload is 1 second. Your first secondary armament is a 30mm AG-32 grenade launcher. To be straight with this thing, it is pretty much completely useless and I never use it. Maybe it works against open top vehicles, but it's better off just to use your autocannon. Your second secondary armament are the 4 9M113 ATGM launchers, which can depress -5 degrees. What's unique about this is not only do you get 4 tandem ATGM launchers, but you also can fire these on the move, and guide them with your mouse, one at a time, or all at once. Now the two main things you'll be using on the tank are the 30mm autocannon and the ATGMs. Your stock shells are called default, and are APT shells with a max penetration of 65mm. These tend to be hard to use, and I suggest you grind out the better shells as you go on. The best shell you use with the autocannon is the APDSFS. I do not know why it's called this instead of APFSDS, but anyway, it has a max penetration of 102mm and a velocity of 1260 meters per second, and it makes quick work of lightly armored vehicles, and even the sides of MBTs. You can also easily destroy barrels with this as well. Now onto the ATGM, you get 9M113, which has a max penetration of 1200mm and has a velocity of 300 meters per second. This works really well even against the strongest armor. However, you should still try your best to aim for weak spots on MBTs, as you won't always one-shot. Onto the smaller things, you get a single coaxial mounted 7.62mm machine gun. Your gunner's optics have 2.5 times unzoomed and 12 times zoomed. Your commander's optics have 4 times unzoomed and a whopping 20 times zoomed. Your gunner optics get Generation 2 thermals, while your commander only gets night vision. Overall, your armament is pretty superb, especially for an IFV. Being able to fire ATGMs on the move is a huge plus, and you also have 4 that can be fired consecutively. As this is a given, if you know about any IFV, its armor is pretty poor. The upper frontal plate varies between 8 to 12mm of armor. However, the angle is very extreme, and if you are lucky, can result in APFSDS bouncing. The lower frontal plate has 15mm of armor. Due to poor angling, nearly all shells will go through this at the tier. The turret cheeks have 20mm of armor plus an extra 4mm to the extra armor plates. The turret can stop some autocannon shots, however again, most shells will penetrate. On the right side of the front, your driver and gunner are lined up pretty close, so an incoming shell will make quick work of them, resulting in a crew knockout. On the left side, you have the transmission and the engine, which has 2mm of internal armor surrounding the side and back of it. Then, behind the internal armor is the commander. Autocannon shells will have trouble going completely through the left side due to the engine soaking up most of the shells, which will save you. Your ammo is stored in the turret and in the rear. It is rare you'll get ammo blowouts, as the autocannon rounds are not very explosive. The ATGMs will cause ammo blowouts, but they are not often hit. I suggest bringing a full load of ammo with the BMP, as the autocannon does not decrease the amount of ammo stored inside the vehicle, and bringing full ATGM is necessary as you'll run out fast in tense situations. You have 6 smoke grenades, and they are dispersed in intervals of 3. You also have an engine smoke system, which is very nifty. Both of these can save you in some dangerous situations. The BMP-2M has a small 360 horsepower UTD-23 engine. However, despite its size, it can allow you to go 65 km per hour. However, the BMP has Russian syndrome. You go negative 10.5 km per hour in reverse, which is about as slow as a T-80 in reverse, a tank that weighs around 3 times more than the BMP-2M. When turning while stationary or at slow speeds, you are not very maneuverable, but it's enough to save you when needed. When in combat conditions, swerving and going through mud, you can expect to go around 35 to 40 km per hour, which is about the same as most MBTs at this BR. Your horizontal targeting speed has a base speed of 42 degrees per second, and will max out at a fast 60 degrees per second. Your vertical targeting speed has a base speed of 25.5 degrees per second, and will max out at 35 degrees per second. Overall, your general performance is pretty much the same as any MBT, giving you barely any edge in mobility other than having a low profile. However, your fast targeting speed can make up for this, as you will be able to get your gun on target almost 2 times as fast as an MBT would. You are also amphibious, which can help sometimes. For your lineup, the 2 good MBTs to bring would be the T-72A and T-64B. A solid light tank you can bring is the 2S25. You could also throw in the Chrysanthema S if you'd like. Finally, for anti-air, you can bring the ZSU-23-4. Being in the Soviet tech tree, you have a plethora of nice camos to bring. You have the Tricolor Camouflage, Tricolor Desert Camouflage, Bicolor Desert Camouflage, Deforming Desert Camouflage, Deforming Forest Camouflage, Deforming Winter Camouflage, my personal favorite, Finnish Summer Camouflage, Deforming Tricolor Camouflage, another favorite, Lake Green Camouflage, and finally, Late Desert Camouflage. There are 2 marketplace camos which you can get, Arctic Camouflage and Sarath Digital Camouflage. In conclusion, the BMP-2M shines the most at its firepower, being the 4 ATGMs and the 30mm autocannon. However, in terms of mobility, it's below average for an infantry fighting vehicle, and is on par with MBTs at the tier. The BMP-2M is not good to grind out the Soviet tech tree, and using it alone with no top tier experience is a bad idea, as you need a lineup with this IAV to have a good experience. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something from it. If you did, like and subscribe, it means a lot to me and keeps me motivated. Have a good rest of your day or night. Viper out.